The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, the Bulls won last night over a good Kings team, 113-109. Kings blew a 14-point lead. Hey, that's the Bulls' job to blow those leads. That's their game plan. It works out so well. But the Kings decided to do it. 13-1 run over the final 4 minutes. Kobe White dropped 37. He has exponentially gotten better since Zach LaVine has gotten hurt. I don't wish anybody hurt, but I'm glad to see him grow. And they tried to trade Zach LaVine, but no one wanted him at the trade deadline. So now we're stuck with a $200 million contract, Kara.
What do you want me to do about it?
I don't know.
Good question, Kara.
Well, I was hoping you'd have some new ideas to bring to the table because
If
apparently
they need help spending $1 million or more, I can definitely help.
Okay, no, we got to be able to trade a player and get rid of him so the $200 million contract goes away.
Oh, I don't know how that works.
Well, that's too bad.
It's been a full season and a half since the Bulls made a trade.
That's unbelievable.
That's almost impossible in the current NBA.
Well, they believe in this squad. They've said that. They believe that when the squad's healthy, when meanwhile, Zach LaVine's been hurt for half the season, Lonzo Ball hasn't played in 2.5 years. The squad is not getting healthier.
Patrick Williams out for the year.
He's out for the year. Yeah. And now Kobe White's blown up into a great player, and I don't want to trade him now. I want to actually have a good player on the team.
Problem is, Kobe White might just be scoring all those points because there's not another option.
I think he looks better as a player.
No, he does look awesome. He's actually really fun to watch.
He's super fun. Blackhawks lost to the Avalanche 5-0, just like they did last Thursday, 5-0. They lost 7 in a row. They've won 2 games since January 19th. Whew.
But they've almost won a few.
There's our hockey mom checking in. There's the penny.
So close.
Now, it is expensive to go to Blackhawks games. I don't know what the price is on a game right now. When's the last? You're being a hockey mom. Your son plays hockey.
It's been a long time, but I tried to go to the Chelios night, and those tickets were pricey. Worth every penny, though. I really wish I would have went.
That's one of the best nights in Chicago sports history of recent memory.
Yep.
Do you remember what they were? Were they like $500?
Yeah, the real good seats. Like I could have got 300 level for 200.
300 level for 200.
Yep.
Do you know, in Michael Jordan's last regular season game, I was in the United Center in the last row. That's all I could get. A buddy of mine actually gave me it for face value, and I believe it was only $19.
Wow.
Face value, because he was being nice to me, because he could have sold it for probably even $200 that last row. I mean, tickets weren't that insane like they are now, but it still was Michael Jordan's last regular season game. And
Parking was probably $5 too.
Oh, well, I used to give him Q101 T-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they let me park. I think I parked next to Jordan once. I used to keep DVDs and T-shirts in the car, and they let me park right up front.
So, how much was your ticket to Michael Jordan's last regular season game?
If I remember correctly, it was a $19 face value ticket.
$19
last
face value
row
ticket.
in the United Center.
If you want to go to Blackhawks and Coyotes on Sunday, that's the next Blackhawks home game.
Okay.
To get in the building on SeatGeek, your cheapest ticket is $43.
So that's embarrassing.
I know.
It shouldn't be $43.
It should be way cheaper.
Now, I went to Jewel 2 days ago, and I spent $43 on one bag of food.
Yeah, that's easy.
What did you get? You get a gold bar?
Right.
There was
Eggs.
it was like eggs,
Yeah.
Those Thomas bagels, everything bagels, some cheese and turkey. I wanted to make some bagel sandwiches. It was like $43.
It is a problem. I can't leave the house without spending $40, and I don't want to. It's the cost of everything.
Right.
Yeah. Can't go to a Blackhawks game either, apparently.
God.
When's the last Wolves game you went to, Kara?
Probably 3 years ago.
Oh, so it's been a long time for live hockey for you, except for your son's
my
games.
son, yeah, I see hockey all the time with him.
Yeah.
She's burning out on hockey.
No, it's just that his games are free.
That's why she got him in the hockey. The Bears traded a 5th-round pick for Bills offensive lineman Ryan Bates. They need help on the offensive line. Is this guy it? I don't know. Nobody knows. He's 27 years old, went undrafted out of Penn State, and he signed with the Eagles for a while as an undrafted free agent. And listen, the Bills are good. He had a $22 million deal for a couple of years, and here he is now being traded. He wasn't a starter there, but played, and they need help. So I'm fine with it. They're doing the right thing to protect a potential new quarterback that comes in here, or maybe it's just going to be Justin Fields. We don't know anything about it. That's where it's at right now. Also, White Sox and the Bears are possibly doing a financial partnership to make both their stadiums happen. I first saw this and thought they were going to build one stadium together and got really excited.
Yeah, right?
To see that baseball dirt infield on the football field like you see on those old NFL films, like when the Raiders took the field. And then that voice comes in. Whatever comes next, like the voice of God.
Do you know the name of that guy, the guy that does the NFL film stuff?
Oh, he's so good.
I'm drawing a blank, and I love him to death. He's passed away a long time ago.
He passed away?
Oh, he lived a long life, nice life. Why am I drawing a blank? When you say it, I'm going to kill myself.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
I'm not going to do that. I should know this because I'm a student of voice.
John Facenda?
John Facenda. Yes. When he would say, like, the job of the quarterback is to get into the end zone and crush the competition with a pass that is so strung on a needle to the receiver. Just stuff like that.
Oh my God, was that John Facenda?
That was it. Yeah, that was it. God, I love that guy. Anyway, I love this guy's voice too. It's ex-ambassadors on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Hey, before we continue, we talked in sports about this guy, John Facenda of the NFL films. And this guy, his voice. Talk about a voice. Listen to this guy. Talking about football.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously.
I think he was talking about football. That's all this guy's talking about there. This guy's amazing.
Do you ever worry, and this is not, I have to be careful with how I phrase this because there's a side that will co-opt this argument in a way that I don't agree with, but it does feel like we've lost a certain breed of man that spoke like that and was barrel-chested and looked like a boxer from the 1920s.
He wears a hooded sash with a silver hat about his head.
That's a man right there.
He's talking about the Raiders.
Yeah.
And it's funny, he's talking about the fashion.
Yeah.
It's incredible the way that sounds.
Yeah, as a non-sporty person, I used to love hearing his voice. It kind of sucked me in. It made me care.
Yeah.
Win is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you around and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Kind of sounds like the most interesting man.
He does. He
He should have done the Dos Equis commercial,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, gone too soon. Pour one out for Vic Facenda today, too. So we pour one out for Brookfield Zoo, which is now called Brookfield Zoo Chicago.
Yes, the zoo is still there. It's just under a different name.
Yeah, we poured one out for the Mount Prospect Outback Steakhouse this
Yeah.
morning.
Not still there. Gone too soon.
Yeah, although listeners checked in and said it was never busy.
That's a damn shame.
That could be the problem.
That might be the problem. And Vic Facenda, who died, let's see here, in 1984.
That's not the guy I've been hearing.
Yeah, no, because all those are really old. They're really old. So we're hitting all the spots today. Tell me another show in Chicago that poured one out for those three things.
And Pimp My Ride.
Oh, I had Pimp My Ride 20 years ago.
Been a morning.
Oh, boy. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101 with Shinedown.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And Lauren is here. Now, Lauren filled in the week before, and a lot of people thought we did something to make you not want to come back on the show.
Yeah, like wake up early. Was it?
I think it was all the abuse, actually.
Oh, gee, here we
Dude.
go.
Oh,
Okay,
my
I was
goodness.
at the grand reopening of Dave & Buster's in Schaumburg Friday night. If I had $1 for every single person that came up to me and said, "You don't look like you went to college," bought my own skee ball machine. Unbelievable.
That's impact, Brian. We should feel really good about ourselves today.
I feel great now.
We did that, baby. That's clout. That is
guys.
clout.
So Kara Carriver will be arrested this week because Lauren wanted to get back to her show time, her regular show this time right now.
I've got a lot going on this month. I'll tell
Yeah.
you about it in a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, first let's do takeaways from you guys, the listeners of today's show. A lot packed into today. 312-591-8300. Case, what do you got?
Carly at Mount Prospect checked in. She said, I learned Brian does a cover of Pete Wentz doing a cover of TLC's Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
Don't go changing waterfalls.
Changing or chasing?
Oh, chasing. I literally ran out of breath singing Waterfalls earlier in the show. I'm sure it'll be on the podcast. Kara, what do you got for takeaways?
Well, according to Marion 708, Brian thinks Scots, Irish, and Brits are all the same, and their king is William Wallace, who enjoyed the steak at Outback because, after all, Mel Gibson is Australian.
Tied a
deep
whole
one.
show together.
That's all facts. Double features Mike did the same 219 takeaway. Today's takeaway. Even if you can't find an Outback, a doctor can find your up front to see if you're a real redhead. And that came from one of our listeners today.
Yeah. Lauren, did you know that if you're a redhead, it doesn't hurt to get an IUD put in?
That's not a thing.
No, that's scientific.
No,
we learned
who
that this
is
morning.
advising you? No.
Oh, an actual redhead, a real life redhead said that.
Okay, maybe she's the one exception.
Built different.
Well, you have pink hair, so I don't know what that does.
Trust me, that stuff does not feel good, no matter what's happening.
All right, what do you got coming up?
you
What do you got coming up, Lauren, today?
All right, so March is Women's History Month.
Yes.
So every weekday at noon, I'm going to be spotlighting the women who make Q101.
Like Cara
And
Caravu over here?
Like Cara Caravu, one of my favorite people
Aw.
in the entire world. She's my favorite person to run into at concerts, by the way.
Yeah, same with you.
She goes to all of them.
I love it.
Not as many as her.
So yeah, today at noon, I'll be spotlighting a band out of Dayton, Ohio that is led by two twin sisters.
Who could that be?
Could it be?
That's new.
Look at Case. It looks like his head's about
Trying
to
to figure
smoke.
it out.
It's pretty easy if you think about it for a second.
So
Okay,
all
all
month long, celebrating the women of alternative.
Great job. And Case, today's podcast.
Oh my God! Well, look, we'll never look at redheads the same way. After what we learned about them in the 6 o'clock hour, we learned so much about Pimp My Ride as we celebrated the 20th anniversary of that this morning.
Yes.
Pimp My Ride built on a bed of lies. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
And then also, we're really broken up over the closing of the Outback Steakhouse in Mount Prospect. So we had a very deep, very informational, very emotional conversation on that. And that's all on the Brian and Kenzie podcast.
It's the new Brian and Kenzie podcast, available anywhere you get them, Q101.com, so check it out.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.